So we're going to do a quick walkthrough of the December 28th auction we have here. This is a live auction this time. You have to be here to bid. Most of it's toy related and ephemera, as well as military and sporting goods, all antique. It's really great. Real quick, we'll walk through as fast as we can. We have a fantastic collection of Matt Mason, boxed pieces of figures and vehicles. More Matt Mason, Knight Rider kit with the car, Pac-Man, Jaws, particularly scarce Martian Landing playset. I've never actually seen this one before. I didn't know they existed until this one came out. Weeble Wobble's Haunted House playset. This is complete. Weeble Wobble's Treehouse. This is complete. Guns of Navarone is complete. And then the gentleman who collected this stuff made sure that these were complete and also packaged them so the pieces were all together. So he was really thoughtful about this collection. And you'll discover when you come down to this auction that he saved all of the paperwork. I think everything in here is sleeved. I know all of if it's a catalog in a toy, it was almost all sleeved. So first we have one of the ball radios, this JVC ball radio. These are really pretty popular. Neat little items. The thing that's really cool here is he has two. And this one is new in the box with all of its paperwork, attached advertising that would have come on it. So stickers, flyers, it's all here. A couple of Jetsons TVs, Bakelite radios. There's a lot of that kind of stuff tucked in here and there. Some toy lines that are fairly scarce. We have lots of die-cast cars. At the moment, it is 10 lithograph toys, Jolly's Angels, but you'll see a few of these floating around here and there. In the ephemera, we have a little bit of ephemera up here. There's an autograph photograph of Pinky Lee. This particular piece is a letter about Bruno Hampton, and he was charged and convicted in the Lindbergh baby kidnapping. So there's a lot of kind of historical memorabilia in here. We have several lots. We'll have figures. There are also a few of the last 17, which is really cool. More Star Wars over here. Death Star playsets, some statues, vehicles, figures. These are loose figures that are in their cases. They're 2 full cases of Star Wars action figures. These are all complete vintage Star Wars action figures. So these all have their weapons and they're all very clean. It's a super nice collection, as well as an Alf candy display. Then back on the back, we'll see more ships. There's more Star Wars. We'll sell all of these ships individually. I believe all of these ships are complete, including the trackball, the original trackball for the Millennium Falcon, and the chin guns on the AT-8. We're going to have some carded action figures and some complete sets, freak balls, the Incredible Hulk parachute from the 1970s or early 80s, as well as boxed dolls here, Mork and Mindy, Christy McCole, Love Boat. Lots of miscellaneous flats, Heinz of Fisher-Price again, wooden people. And I noticed in this one we had the pieces for the castle, including the scarce pieces, the dragons, and I think the king might be in here as well. The Whitman puzzles, there's character-related ones as well, and there's a ton of them in here. Superhero, lots of these big superhero books from the 70s and 80s. We'll have more puzzles. These are the superhero-related ones. So they're all packaged nicely. Batman's, Superman's, Fantastic Four, Rubik's Cubes and more. Loads of handhelds, including some boxed sets. Speak and Spell, Speak and Math. Fun thing was, again, if he found the catalog that would have come with it or the paperwork, it's all carded. So lots of the stuff that's in here is going to have its paperwork with it. More die cast, a little bit of miscellaneous, some Soaky balls, those are always fun. Action Team, which is 1960s G.I. Joe. So this flat is completely full of slot cars. You're going to have AFX and Tyco in here. But there are probably, about altogether, there's 100 vintage slot cars. Back here, Starsky and Hutch, more 70s dinosaurs. More of the boxed, of the handhelds and some boxed Merlins. But you'll see there are handhelds like every 70s handheld game you'd ever want to find. This is the coolest thing in here. For me, as a kid, this is what I would have liked. But so here we're going to have the Stompers. The Schweppers, Stompers, and the Real Riders or Rough Riders. There's a whole collection of these, including a fairly scarce piece. The car itself is pretty scarce, but the box deluxe set is, I understand, to be fairly rare. Boxed handheld games. Those are always cool. Back on this side, Ephemera. If you're coming out here, you're going to want to come out early because these boxes are absolutely full. Just the most incredible stuff. This is an entire, so what we have here is an entire set marked What is that one? Chicago Nightlife, 1946. There's lots and lots. I mean, there are just hundreds of lots of this type of ephemera, or memorabilia. Every piece preserved. Sears and Roebuck's receipts. So cool. These are always great. 1980s concert programs. In Excess, The Police, Iron Maiden. These boxes are really full. He saved everything like this. Rocky Mountain National Park pass from 1940. JFK, RFK. Advertising postcards. Miniature pendants. More advertising. So this is all of the little memorabilia, the little superhero related bits, cereal box pieces, bat stickers, toy catalogs. It's really full. Scrapbooking, 1940s. The focus of most of this material is 1940s and 50s. There's a little 30s and 20s poked in too, but it's kind of a classic swath of American paper. Individual newspapers, there are hundreds of them. They're cataloged by event. So you'll see lots of events that are, important in history, but they've all been set out a piece, they've all been backed. Sports related, Hollywood related, lots and lots of just kind of small advertising. Just flat after flat of it. Hollywood, snapshots, baseball, Valentine's, including a new old stock box of the Snoopies. Lots of photographs, there's some good cabinet cards, some interesting pieces there. So you're going to have Johnny West on this whole shelf. There are so many Johnny West figures that it is difficult to describe them. Not only are there Johnny West figures, but their accessories are with them as well. Vintage cap guns, including boxed vintage cap guns. We're going to run back into more of kind of advertising. You'll never see it. The cartoon glasses from the 70s, those are fun. Vintage soda bottles. Everybody likes Polly Pop. It's an Independence, Missouri classic. Now, it's not sports memorabilia pro team stuff. This is classic Americana. Leather football helmets, vintage footballs, vintage wool uniforms, baseball uniforms. They're a new old stock. They are chain stitched. I think the backs of them are cool too. Edwards Vending Company, so they're advertising as well. All eras of vintage baseballs. Just scads of vintage baseball gloves from the 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe even the 30s and 20s. A good collection of vintage carnival prizes, chalkware carnival prizes, including a fairly good dog. A good World War I uniform. Some other military memorabilia, flags and whatnot. Over here we're going to have a whole bunch of World War I and World War II helmets, including French, World War I, flight. Back here on the shelves, we'll do lunch boxes. And look, this is one of my favorite things in here. This 1961 slip and slide. He was so good at collecting stuff. His eye was good. So we've got oddball things as well as complete slot car sets. Dukes of Hazzard. This Mountain Fortress set is a Sears exclusive. It's kind of an unusual play set. Doesn't show up very often. Man from Uncle, Barbie, some model kits, sweat hogs. So we'll sell Teddy Ruxpin. Lots of advertising plush. Lots of vintage good early advertising plush. JJ from Good Times. Big Bird, Snoopy, Cookie Monster, lots of Sesame Street. The 80s toy tables. Care Bears. The one Care Bear lot that I have. Puffy stickers. They're new old stock. Superman wallets. Batman pictures. One sheet of 24 tattoos. Lots of this. Some really fun stuff here too. Bootleg Supermans. Bootleg Batmans. Bootleg Robin. Loose action figures. Now, I don't know that these are complete, but they are both nearly complete, as well as figures with accessories and flats of accessories. Not a little bit of G.I. Joe, lots of G.I. Joe. On the cannons, this one is still with its box. So 3 good cannons. There have to be There have to be more than 100 G.I. Joe figures. Most of them are complete or near complete. And their flats are going to go on forever. Here's 1986, 85. If you like G.I. Joe, this is the place to come buy a lot of it. Probably 100 or more complete or near complete G.I. Joe figures, accessories. The G.I. Joe books that came with the figures. He saved all of this. And then back behind us are the vehicles, including their, once again, carded up. One of the coolest things that we're going to sell on Saturday, December 28th is the 1982 Return of the Jedi swing set. Super rare, and this one is complete. This is truly a cool thing. So that's our auction on the 28th. The doors open at 9. We're going to start the auction at 11, and you're going to want to come out because it's pretty cool.